How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Prison Architect. I want to get started today by jumping right in and making some improvements to our minimum security prison because I have some problems with this, just some problems with the islands in general that I think I can improve with this minimum security prison and then potentially take forward into some other prisons once we get into maximum security and super max and all that good stuff. One change that I did make between episodes though was installing a new, we have a bunch of rats in there. We have so many rats in there. I might need to do something about that. We have 25 rats in the prison. I did install a new water boiler down here because these radiators over here in the bottom left of this new expansion, well, they weren't getting hot water. So I figured putting a little boiler in the pantry wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. It has worked out really nicely as well, so I can't really complain about it. That is about the only change though. But here's what I'm thinking. I want to go to this helipad and I want to clear connections. I want to go to logistics, I want to go to transport, and I want to turn everything off on this helipad because this is something that apparently you need to do in order to be allowed to dismantle a helipad. Now, what's most likely going to happen is that we are going to have a bunch of helicopters still coming in and landing here because they're probably going to be backing up a little bit. Apparently not. Never mind. I want to dismantle this. And there is method to my madness. There's a reason that I'm doing this, and I'm going to basically be trying to massively improve our general deliveries setup. So we'll get rid of these lights. We're going to be getting rid of that helipad as well. And what we can do actually is go ahead and just get rid of all of this. We're going to keep the dirt that's underneath, but I'm going to sell all of that flooring to get some money back. I want to go and just put some water into all of this space because we're not really going to be doing anything with that old helipad spot. And I guess while we're here, let's also go ahead and just put a bit more of this running track around here so that my workers and my staff can move nice and quickly around the prison. And then that's going to bring us up to this space because this is going to be the new home for that helipad, which means going into landscaping and I guess getting, I'm just going to say a bunch of sand, and I'm going to just fill out pretty much this entire space. I'm going to go the entire way across here and all the way down to here as well. We're actually going to go out a little bit further than that because I do want to start putting a perimeter wall around all of those running tracks. So all of this space is going to be getting just a whole bunch of sand, including this little corner once that water's filled in, which it now has. We can move this large jail door to this spot, and we can figure out the rest of the running track and all that good stuff, including the perimeter walls in just a moment, because that is going to be really expensive, and I kind of want to hold off on doing that. I do want to demolish those walls though, and I want to dismantle that door. We can dismantle this door and demolish these walls as well. And then for this space up here, my hope is that we can do a little something like this. And then I guess we do a little something like this. And that should give me a little space that we can go into to get up to where the helipad's going to be. And that's where I think we'll get started. Let's go ahead and just place the helipad back in here. Let me go and get myself some perimeter walls that are going to come out to about this spot, come down to about this spot, and go to, I'm going to say about there. Should be pretty solid. That seems like a good little layout for, tucking the helipad away a little bit. Now, when this thing gets installed, we are going to be dealing with inmates coming in by helicopter. That's a bit of a pain, but it's something I can deal with because we can change the logistics of all that stuff in just a little bit. I think I'm also going to just put some perimeter wall along here. And honestly, we might have enough money for me to just go ahead and put perimeter walls around all of this. And I can leave my workers to do that while I go and do just about everything else that I want to do. Because my plan here, if I'm completely honest, is that we just lay a bunch of running track. That's so expensive. But we lay a bunch of running track there. We lay it in and around here so everyone in this area can move super, super quickly. And then I want to do some wooden docks across the front here, because I want to build 2 more boat docks. Now, these are kind of expensive, but what we can do is place them here and here, and that means that this entire little channel that we have down here is going to get used. And for some reason, they like to build automatically. I'm not sure why that one's built automatically, but as you can see, we have supplies coming in, and instantly, that's just quicker. We have 2 boats coming in. So if we go into logistics and we go to transport, what I can do is say, hey, maybe this boat dock doesn't do people. And because I want more options for prisoners coming in, I will let medium security inmates come into this space. We'll just have to transport them over to the other island. But, oh, hold on a minute. We have this dock as well now. That was very, very quick. We'll do the same thing here. We can then say that maybe we don't do deliveries on that central dock. So we have 2 spaces now is that we can import and export goods. We have 1 that only brings in people, and by the looks of it, is bringing in a lot of medium security inmates. That might be a problem because we have, what, 40 medium security inmates with 30 cells? Yeah, that boat might be, I don't know how this keeps happening. I really don't know how this keeps happening. It's really frustrating, but it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. We'll find somewhere for them at some point, I'm sure. But this right here should be a pretty good improvement for bringing in goods, bringing in people, and also getting my staff around the prison that little bit quicker, because we have all of those running tracks now, which honestly I love. I really do think the red running track around the prison looks really, really cool. It's really, really interesting. So I do like it. I do. I think it's neat. Now, what I would like to do is just move my deliveries, move my exports, and move my garbage. And I also want to kind of mark out an area that those are going to live. So I want to find a nice material that I can use outside that's not going to be the running track. And I'm kind of looking at reclaimed rubber because it's still a fast material, but it's like the opposite of the running track. And it's also, I mean, I can save a little bit of money on this. So I think what I'm actually going to do is mark out this space for one of my little patches. This will be our deliveries, I guess. We can do a little 5x6 patch right there and a little 5x6 patch right there. That can be exports and that can be garbage. So what we can do is go to rooms, we can go to deliveries, and then all I need to do is just drag this the entire way down and get rid of the original part right there, which is apparently, you know what? I'm just going to do it this way. Deliveries. I was going to try and drag these around so it didn't mess with my assignments, but it's messing with them anyway, so it's okay. We'll do exports right about there, and then we'll do garbage just right about here. We can go back into flooring. We can get the reclaimed rubber. We'll go to this spot, and this spot. And I'm only saving a teeny tiny little bit of money with this, but it's still a teeny tiny little bit of money, and that's kind of what's important. So we will link to there. We will link you to there. That's apparently not going to be linked to there. And we'll link you to there. And that should mean that those are no longer complaining, which they're not. We have the reclaimed rubber down here to mark out those areas as well, which is fantastic. And that's about all I wanted. Oh, hold on a minute. I think, you're not complaining anymore. I do want to look at your logistics though, because I'm kind of thinking we probably shouldn't have prisoners coming in by helicopter. Anyone else coming in by helicopter is probably fine, but definitely not prisoners. And also, I would really like to get that bit of perimeter wall right there, which I don't think we're going to do because I have a sneaking suspicion that none of my workers can get to it. So that's great. That's, good job, guys. Really, really stellar job with that one. Let me go to flooring. We'll just bring some sand out like this and let them get to that perimeter wall, hopefully. I also realized for them to get to it, they would have to go out over here and around. So good luck. And you know what? I think this looks pretty good. I like this a lot, and I think we're probably about done with this. We have some lights in here now. We have the boats coming and going. It's a pretty good setup. What's a little bit problematic, though, is the fact that we have a bunch of inmates in here who, well, as it turns out, and as we kind of saw, we currently have 39 medium security inmates, and we only have 30 cells. We do, however, have 90 cells for minimum security, and we have 71 of those inmates. So we kind of need to move 9 people out of medium security into minimum security. And so the way I'm going to try and do this is by seeing, like, who isn't the worst person in the world. And so far, Benjamin Curtis driving under the influence, I'm going to say that's problematic. Kidnapping, probably more so. Death by danger. Oh boy. This is going to be tricky, isn't it? Aggravated vehicle theft. You're in a gang, though. So no, we're not. You're also in a gang. Are you in a gang? What did you do? Manslaughter? That's pretty bad. You stole 2 cars. Conan O'Brien here stole 2 cars. Minimum security. There you go. Robbery and burglary. Sure. You can go to minimum security as well. What did you do? Vandalism and violent disorder. Off to minimum with you. Aggravated vehicle theft. Sure. Off to that with you. You're in a gang. So isn't Ian? I'm thinking of a. There's like a real criminal person. I think has a name very similar to. I also think he's dead now. I'm pretty sure he was murdered in prison. But that's a very close name. How are we looking here? We currently have 35 medium security inmates. So who else do we have? We've got Isaac here. False imprisonment. That's not ideal. We have Edwards, assault and perjury. You know what, Edwards? You can go to minimum security. We have Shore for arson, 23 years. I'm gonna say you're staying right where you are, buddy. Trafficking and kidnapping, that's not good. Murder and kidnapping is also not good. Shoplifting, perjury, and robbery, I can move you over to minimum security. Death by dangerous driving twice, and perjury. Yep, no, you're staying. Man, yep. Okay. We'll move you over. That should be fine. And how many does that leave me with? I need 2 more. You're in a gang, so you're staying there. You did what? Aggravated burglary? Away you go. You can go over to minimum security, and then you can go to minimum security as well. And that should now put us in a spot where we do have the 30 medium security guys, and we have 80 out of 90 minimum security inmates. So that will at least stop that complaint in the top right, where we're seeing the whole thing of like, hey, you don't have enough. What happened here? Oh my God. I look at the medium security prison for 30 seconds and we're just beating the snot out of each other. Now, another little something that I would like to do is expand our laundry room, because if we have a look at the dangers in the prison, clothing is actually something that they're not particularly happy about. And I'm pretty sure most of those complaints will probably be coming from the minimum security inmates. So I was kind of looking at this space at one point and thinking we could build a parole room in here. But what I'm actually thinking we'll do is, first off, move these windows over to that external wall, because this, I think, could become a new cleaning cupboard. So we want to put some foundations there. We want to go and basically put a door, and probably just a regular door right about there. We're going to make pretty much all of the foundation stuff a bit of a priority. And then over this way, we can demolish this wall. We can dismantle this door. We'll make that a priority as well. And then once this is gone, we can just expand the laundry room. We can also maybe move this ironing board, because that seems like a pretty solid idea too. And I think, you know what? I want to go for... I do really like the fancy tiles. They look great in Visitation. No, we'll go with the white tiles. We'll keep the white tiles. I think that makes the most sense. What we will do is look for laundry, and we're just going to expand this room down. This shouldn't take too long to build, which is going to be fantastic for us. And then I guess if we go to objects and search for laundry, we can do 3. new laundry machines down here at the bottom. We can do... How many ironing boards do we realistically need? That's the real question. I feel like we could do that many. And I feel like we could even go and do another bunch of laundry machines here. I don't know if more laundry machines equals more people working in the room. I'm really not too sure how the game calculates how many people can work in a specific room. Is it room size? Is it equipment? I guess we'll find out. But at the very least, we'll get all of these utilities in here as well. This is actually coming together super quickly, which we love to see. We also have people carrying, you know, I was going to say I've carried a washing machine. I've never carried a washing machine, but I have carried a freezer before, which is about the same size as a washing machine. I would say the freezer is probably lighter though, because the washing machine has like the engine, like the motor, not the engine. It's just giving me a mental image of a washing machine that you have to start like an old lawnmower, just pulling the thing on it to get the thing going. I don't know if that was ever a thing, but mentally that image is hilarious. What is going on here? What are you, how did you get out there? How did this happen? Who let this man out here? Oh, that's really unfortunate. Oh man. I can't believe that happened. Let's make sure that that's all staff only, just to make sure that no one's going out there. That's unsecure, but it's also going to be staff only, I guess. I can't, you're going to drown, buddy. 100%. You are not making that swim, are you? He's actually doing really well. Okay, you know what? Credit where it's due. I wasn't expecting him to make that. So, I mean, he'll be back. They usually are. they usually find their way back eventually, so that's unfortunate, but it's whatever. Apparently these have to be plumbed in directly, so let's get the pipes going directly underneath these guys. Anyway, it looks like this new laundry room is good to go, so let's have a look at our prison labor. We can put 9 people to work in here, which is better than I think the 3 that we had before. We can have 7 people working in this cleaning cupboard, and we probably want to make sure that during work hours, do we need patrols? I'm going to say we just assign some guards to the cleaning cupboard and to the laundry room. That seems like a solid bet. We also want to make sure that those are set to minimum security only, because I don't want anyone trying to come over from the other prison. That would be a bit of a disaster, if I'm completely honest. Also not sure what's going on with that one square, but it can be minimum security as well. That should put us in a good spot though. That should mean that the laundry situation gets dealt with. That should mean that the prison is extra clean, which would be a lovely thing as well. And I guess this now puts us in a spot where I kind of just need to improve a few other things. Now, I have been reading through some comments, and I have seen a few people suggesting that I probably do want more guards, because as it stands right now, my staff morale is 49%. 83 people on staff have complaints. That's a lot. That's a lot. I don't like that. We have 52 total guards. There's 44 regular, 9 stationed, 13 patrolling, 18 doing jobs, 5 on break, and 37 need a break. 3 are available. 6 of my 8 dog handlers need a break. Ugh. We need more guards. The problem with this is we don't have a lot of money right now. Now, admittedly, we do still make money from exports from the workshops, from both of them here and from this one up here. We do make money from those. We do make money from the farming field as well, and we save a little bit of money by growing our own oranges and cabbages and carrots, which is fantastic. We should probably spend a bit of money just getting rid of the rats, because those are becoming a bit of a problem. Can we dismiss this helicopter, please? Just while I have the money to do this, because we get 10,000 back. You know, we get money if we can. Can these guys come in? Hello? Where? Oh, There we go. Also, we had someone get released early, which is lovely. So we have the pest control guys coming in. We actually have $4,500 due once we get 15 new minimum security inmates in about an hour and a half. So that'll be good. And of course, I think we get $10,000 for getting rid of the 70 rats that are currently in the prison. So we're going to get some money, and we have, you know, $7,500 now. So I guess let's go from 44 guards to 55. That's a lot, but that should make it a little bit easier for my guards to take breaks if and when they need them, which would be lovely. I do want to get more dog handlers, and I do want to get more dogs, but I'm going to hold off on that one. We could probably do with like 2 more gardeners, and I'm going to get, if I can afford them, and I totally can, I'm going to get 2 more cooks just to make sure that all of my kitchens, like, we have a bunch of cooks assigned to different, oh, who's dead? How? Oh, it's a guard! Oh my God. Right, that's problematic. Don't you hurt that dog. Don't you? That's what I thought. Okay. So, that's interesting. So, murder, attacked staff, and destruction. You're deadly, you're a gang member, and you're a foodie. I'm glad we have that in there. Oh, it was Shaggy. Oh no. Wait, they have ranks? Wait, they have rank? Wait, what? Since when have they? What do the ranks do? Hold on a minute. What is this? I honestly don't know. I really have no idea. What I do know is we're getting the armory. I'm getting tasers. I'm getting body armor. And I'm going to be rolling out tasers for all of my guards because we're not having that happen again. Absolutely not. And you know, I've got to be honest, just given how many things we're finding during this shakedown, including a tunnel, that's great. I can't afford to get rid of it because I'm broke. But given how much stuff we're finding, I think we're going to need more solitary cells. We have 16 people currently waiting for solitary confinement. I want to do something about that. I do. I want to get rid of those queues of people waiting to get into solitary. So the question becomes, how do I go about doing that? And where exactly would we put a new solitary confinement space? Now, I will say one thing that we do need is spirituality. Now, there are some programs for that. We do have, I think, spiritual guidance, which is led by a spiritual leader in a chapel. So if I could get some money to build a chapel over here, we could build solitary confinement into the back of the pantry, which would be a hell of a spot for it. But my thinking would be we have like a little corridor that comes out here. We can just do a whole bunch of solitary cells. I'm going to have to move this path again to do this, which is slightly unfortunate, but that'll be fine. We would do something like this, basically. So that would be a bunch of solitary cells. We could sort of, I guess, cap it off like this and just have that be its own little corridor, which I guess would be fine. I could do another one. I do like this staff door that we have here, though, so I'm not going to mess with that too much. But this would be like a little extension to put solitary back here. And I want to say that would be fine. And then we could sort of continue out. And I like... I think it could be kind of funny to build a chapel out here just off of solitary confinement. There's something about that I just find kind of funny, if I'm totally honest. Now, I would like to see, if we search for chapel, we do have an altar. What size is it? It's 3 tiles across. So we're going to need something that is, I guess, a minimum of like 5 across on the inside. It needs to be like an odd number. Now, what would I want this chapel to look like? That's the other question. I actually kind of want to see if I could make it like an outdoor thing. So if I was to do, I'm about to make this so much more complicated for myself, but Oh man, how am I gonna do this? I don't want this entire outdoor space to be open to this pathway. So we're gonna have like a double layer of perimeter walls to make this happen. But my thinking would be we can come over something kind of like this. I might really regret this, but I'm gonna try going at a bit of an angle for this corner, and then we come down, and that should be fine. This is the outermost perimeter wall, so it would be something kind of going this way. We don't have this bit in the middle. That was a bit of a misclick. So basically, this little space here is going to become a door that leads to an outdoor space, and that should be fine. This is all going to be a bunch of solitary cells, so we just have individual doors there. We could do a door here as well. We'll do a door there just to make sure this is all nice and secure. And I guess my walls would kind of continue over sort of like this. And this is going to be, this little enclosed space here is still outdoors. This is just a continuation of my existing sort of perimeter path thing. So that would be the red running track. And I mean, this looks weird, but this would be an outdoor space. And then in the middle of it, we would do a chapel. So we would want to go like 7 across, maybe 9 across. Do I want to make it look like a cross since it's a chapel? Is that worth doing? I don't see why not. I don't see why not. We'll come down like this. We'll not go too crazy with like the design here, but we'll do like a little, just a little something to make it look like kind of a fancy building, I guess. Sure. No, that looks terrible. That's way too close to the wall. Does that look weird? It does a little bit, but if I just sort of even it out, I think that's probably fine, right? That's probably not too bad. Like, it's just a nice outdoor space. We can put some flowers out there. We can do some well, we can't do trees because they'll grow like crazy, but that seems, I can work with that, right? We can do like the altar can go sort of here. We can do pews and prayer mats and all that good stuff. We can do, I guess, a couple of doors down there at the bottom. I suppose we could do some doors kind of up here as well to get outside. I don't mind this. I don't think it's a terrible idea. It's not a great idea, but it's not a terrible idea. So I guess once again, we're going to be demolishing part of our perimeter wall. I'm also going to make a point of selling all of that running track there so I can get some money back for it, because that's going to be very useful. But then we'll just go in very simply and demolish everything that we don't need, which is all of that perimeter wall. We can prioritize getting rid of all of that. And I think we're also going to dismantle all of the trees before we start construction, because it is going to make my life just that little bit easier if we clear all of this out first. And also it's going to get me a ton of money, which I'm not going to complain about. Okay, so I think it's fair to say that this is coming together at the very least. I have decided to make the solitary cells just a little bit better than I usually do. So they have showers, which is new for solitary. It's not exactly luxurious, but it's definitely new, and that's fine. We'll see how it ends up going. I would like to make sure that this is staff only right here. I want to make sure this is all staff only for the time being as well. This is minimum security for all of this space, and we'll make sure that this is also staff only so that we don't have anyone going in there that shouldn't be going in there. It does look like some of these cells are up and going though, so I would imagine at some point here in the not too distant future, we might have some prisoners coming down here. We have got 7 or 6 currently awaiting solid. There's one. I was right. We absolutely do. And we have another one coming down here. That's hopefully going to help out this minimum security prison quite a bit. Now, when it comes to the rest of this space, we kind of need to... do I want to do the running track? Do I want to do the outside first? I kind of do. I need to secure it before we get too carried away here. So I think we will I kind of need that tree to go as well. If we could prioritize that, that'd be great. So I can put these perimeter walls in here completely. But as much as I want to build the little chapel, I need it to be secured. I need the entire space to be something that my inmates can't get out of, which it has been something they can get out of. I'd also like to just get rid of this, well, let me make sure I'm selling the things properly. Let's just sell those objects so I can get a little bit of money, because this has been expensive. That perimeter wall, man, it is not cheap. And you know, I've realized I'm a bit of an idiot, because what I actually need to do is bring this perimeter wall down to here and just get rid of that little bit so that my staff can still get down to the kitchen. So let's prioritize getting all of that done as well. Let me go into flooring and just put the running tracks back in there. And honestly, this looks kind of cool. I think we're going to be onto a good thing here. We just need to decide on what the foundation's going to look like. And I am slightly tempted to go for the reclaimed wood. Now, this is $50 per square versus however 60, so it's actually cheaper. Interesting. I do like the idea, though. I think like a nice wooden chapel could be really cool here. So we'll give this a shot. We'll build out these little side parts here. Is it going to let me do that? It sort of is, I guess. It's being a bit weird, but that's all right. We'll build out those parts. We can go to our doors and see what exactly we want to do with those. I'm kind of thinking that I wish there was more than just the regular door here. I mean, we could go for... What could we go for? There's really nothing else to go for other than the regular door. I mean, yes, we have the visitor ones, we have the staff ones, but I think we'll just go for the regular ones, just a little something like this. And I was also thinking that we do have the glass wall. So once we get this thing built, I could maybe swap out that back wall for a glass wall, so it kind of looks like it's maybe a stained glass wall. I mean, it's not a stained glass wall, but we could imagine that it's a stained glass wall. Oh my God. I don't really have any words for what's gone on here. How was one prisoner able to do this? Genuinely. How did one prisoner... Why was there no guard in here? It's because there's a shakedown under... Oh my God. Oh, that's so much stuff that has to be fixed. Oh no, that's so much money. Oh, there's also a tunnel. Get out of here. Oh, it's ridiculous. I mean, at least this looks kind of good. You know? This looks neat. This is coming together. It's missing a door, but oh no. That's so bad. That is so much money. Stop fighting. Oh. Okay, well, here's what I'm gonna try and do. I'd like to sell all the valuables in there. That's good. All that money is gone in repairs. That's fine. Sell everything in there that's worth something. All that money's gonna go in repairs as well. Sell all of this, and that's all gone. Sell this. Sell that as well. I've got some trees down here we can sell. Surely we can. I mean, we've got some of this being repaired, which is great, so we can start making some money out of that. I again can't help but notice that we're still missing a door, which is not ideal. I also want some carpet that just cuts straight across here, so as stupid as it is to spend that money when I don't have that money, I'm going... Where is this door? It's apparently urgent, and yet it's this is so bad. It's just not been seen. Man, I'm down here trying to build like a nice looking chapel. I should have just put it in a box, right? I should have just built a little room off of one of these corridors and been like, there you go, there's your chapel. I'm trying to make it look nice. I'm trying to make it look pleasant. And they're just like, no, I'm going to I don't understand how like 1 or 2 inmates did this. I mean, I answered my question just a minute ago. To be fair, it was probably because of the shakedown. That's still really annoying. We also have so many of my staff that are exhausted. I either need more staff rooms or I need even more guards. And I don't have the money for either of those things. It is worth pointing out, I just want rid of that tunnel. I just wanted rid of that tunnel. That's all I wanted. Do we have anything down here or around here that I can export? I'm trying to avoid just getting rid of trees, because that does still feel a little bit cheesy, but I feel like I've got myself into a bit of a pickle where I might not have a choice, you know? Because every time I make 9,000 on exports, I spend 6,000 on repairs. Great. Anyway, the good news is I had enough money to get everything that I need for a chapel into the chapel. I did have to do a bit of a weird layout with the pews here because it turns out they're quite wide, which, I mean, makes sense. They're pews. It's not entirely unheard of for churches and chapels to have pews that are like facing sort of inward like this. They would usually be either side of the altar, but it's fine. It's Prison Architect. It doesn't have to be realistic. Let me get rid of... If it was realistic, we wouldn't have these tunnels popping up every day. So you know what? The game started it. Anyway, let me go and get myself a little chapel. And let's just say it is going to be this space and all of this space. And that looks fine. Oh, we don't have an altar. There it is. There's the altar. So now that's in there, can I go to programs and can I say that now we want to do spiritual guidance? And if I could find it on this list somewhere, it's probably going to be easier to edit the schedule and do it this way. Spiritual guidance is right there at the bottom. I sort of want to move it to the end of the day. I'm not entirely sure. I like the idea because there's a lot of, like, they've got parole hearings and flower therapy and all this pharmacological treatment of addictions and whatnot. I just feel like moving it to the end of the day as like a thing they can do to chill after work or before dinner or whatever it might be just seems like the right thing to do. Also, just before people get too carried away with all of their free time and whatnot, I do want to have a guard in here, and I do want to have a guard, maybe multiple guards out there. I am going to station a guard in this hallway because that seems like a solid idea. And that is, that's current deployment. That's during work hours. So I'm going to do the same thing for now as well. And that should be okay because I'm kind of thinking the space around this could probably be a yard, which I realize is maybe a weird use, but it would give that space a purpose, right? And that seems like a smart thing to do. A couple of door servos here might not hurt as well. And I think, honestly, we are going to do that. I think we're going to say that this is going to be a yard. I think it just sort of makes sense. It's kind of an easy space to use for it. It needs to be at least 5 by 5. It is 5 by 5, which is... yeah, there we go. It is now registered as a yard. So we want to just go the entire way around this space. And it's going to be the weirdest shaped yard that I think I've ever done. But again, I think it's a good use of the space. I think it means my prisoners might be inclined to come down here and chill and do their thing and whatever that might be. I also think as far as yards go, we can do little benches. We can do like a little bench there, a little bench right there. We could do a little bench, just a couple of benches maybe in front of the entrance of the chapel. That seems nice. We could do some floodlights just to brighten the place up a little bit. That seems like something that would be good to do. I'm not gonna do any exercise equipment. I don't think that's something that we would want to have out here. But I will do just a bunch of little chess tables. I think that would be lovely. I'm also kind of thinking we go for the little wooden stools. Those seem like kind of a nice thing to have up there. And what else? What do we have for other options? Everything else in here is pretty much just, oh, an outdoor table. That, I think, would look lovely right about there. And I'm also kind of wondering, can I do some flowers? Can I do some rose bushes? No, because I guess it has to be in a specific room. That's unfortunate. I can do these, though. Those are nice, those little planters. Yeah, no, I like that. I like the little wheelbarrow one. That looks kind of adorable. We'll put that by the entrance. We'll do the little boots one, the little wellies one there as well. That seems nice. And I think this looks great. I actually really, really like this. I think it looks really, really cool. And I think it's a really good use of the space. I would like to see, how are we looking for spirituality? We're looking much better. Admittedly, we are going to have guys in the medium security prison that are a little bit upset about the fact that they can't get spirituality right now. But I did ask in the last episode whether or not we should, combine these two islands. And the top comment said, yeah, go for it. Actually, quite a few comments said, yeah, go for it. So I think we're going to go for it. Maybe not today, but I absolutely think we're going to go for it. And so we will be able to get a little chapel up here as well. Also worth pointing out, 94% on the 100 reformed prisoners. So 6 more prisoners get reformed, and we're pretty much good to go. We've done that, which would be amazing. If we look at reform overall, it's down to 47%, which I think is the lowest it's ever been. I might be wrong, but that's pretty good. Our security grade is up to 1. I think it was 0 at one point. We also have a little bit of money, so I'm going to go up to 60 guards just to see if we can maybe help some of them relax a little bit, because they're definitely having some problems, which I don't love. I would like to see, I don't remember, so the spiritual guidance thing is supposed to be now, I think, and I can't help but notice that it's not. So that's not exactly ideal. The spiritual leader might be having trouble getting into the prison, which would be a shame, but it'll be all right. How many prisoners are we feeding anyway? 34% currently. It really looks like we just don't put out enough food. And I mean, yeah, there are only 2 cooks down here. If I look at deployment and I look at assigned cooks, because I did do this, right? I didn't. Did I? This would explain a lot. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna put 4 in there because we're dealing with like a lot of prisoners and we have like 10 cooks. I don't know if we can have 4 cooks working in there, given that there's like only 3 stoves, but we'll see how that goes. It doesn't matter where they are overnight, but we'll try and get 4 of them in there and see if we can start feeding more of the prisoners, because only feeding like 30-something% is really, really not good. Okay, so my prisoners are coming down to eat again. It does look like we have a little bit more food out. We have like 55% of them that are getting fed, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. That is like double what it was this time yesterday. So I want to say that is definitely a lot better. I'm not too sure how this canteen is doing though, which is slightly concerning. I might need more cooks again, which I'm not against doing. Looking at my guards, how are we looking? Staff morale is 54%. That's really, really bad. That's really, really not good. Oh, I don't like that. What are my staff needs right now? Bladder is pretty high. Bowels, food. Okay. Recreation is pretty high as well. Rest is a problem. Warmth isn't great, but bladder, bowels, and food are all problems. I guess that kind of checks out since we only have like 5 staff bathrooms in here, and we haven't really bothered to expand that at all. what would be the best way to go about doing that? I guess, well, I kind of see a way that we could actually do some extra staff bathrooms. If I did a wall here and I just sort of divide up this space a little bit, it's going to give me kind of an annoying space to work with, but if I did it this way, we could do what, like 4 little staff bathrooms, 3, I guess 4 if we just have one that's like an awkward size. So we could do 4 little staff bathrooms down here, turn this into just like a corridor, and that would be fine. Or I could do it sort of the other way around, where we have like a narrow little corridor coming out at the end of a big channel of staff bathrooms. So it'd be something kind of like this. So we could just get as many staff bathrooms in here as I wanted, so it'd be up to about there. And then we would have the perimeter wall sort of go out, I guess, this way. And I guess that would be okay. I would have to move my my little chess tables here, which is a bit of a shame, but I don't think that's the end of the world. I think we can manage, and I think this will be good. I think moving this all around is probably the smart thing to do. The only thing I'd like to do first is maybe get that extra bit of perimeter wall first. I was also considering just wrapping things up for the day, but I kind of want to deal with this staff bathroom problem while I remember. And I also want to try and make a point of, oh, that is not what I wanted to click on. I want to move you to there, and you to there, and you to there. Surprised that the this chess table hasn't been installed yet. That's kind of worrying and also annoying. But yeah, I'd like to deal with this. I'd like to get this sorted out, and I'd like to, you know, have my staff be a little bit happier. If we can start addressing their needs, it might just make them a bit more efficient. I don't remember exactly what the benefits are, but definitely more bathrooms. Their food situation's kind of bad as well, which, I mean, realistically, I don't know. I mean, we can change their break policy as well. So this is the maximum percentage of your staff who are permitted to take a break at any one time. Set this low to force them to work harder and longer without breaks. Set it high to allow guards to take breaks whenever they please. My workmen, I'm going to say like 40% of them can go on break. I'm going to say like 25% of my cooks can go on break. I'm going to say like 20% of my guards and like 25% of everybody else. We're going to let them all go on break just a little bit more regularly, which might be something I regret doing. Oh my God. Well, someone got out. That's someone is gone. That's for sure. I reckon it might be these two. I do. I think these two cells. No, it's just that one. Okay. Well, oh no, he's still in there. He missed his opportunity, I think. Well, it sucks to suck. That's unfortunate. Anyway, we'll go ahead and start selling some of this this flooring that we're not going to be needing here, just to get a little bit of money back. I want to go to foundations, I want to go to brick, and I want to say that all of this is going to get put together. And what are you trying to do? Where do you think you're going? You're not getting out of here. There are security doors. Oh, now hold on a minute. My guards are not going after him. So, can I get a guard response in here, please? Can I get somebody, but you know, go deal with these guys that think they're getting somewhere there? What do you, oh my God, he beat up the guard. I mean, I did get the armory, or hold on, that was the wrong button. Didn't I unlock armory earlier? Yeah. Okay, we definitely need to get those tasers. It's going to be a problem if my, wait, what's going on here? Who, how, why? Where did you, I mean, why is there blood? How did he get out? We need to put a guard in here, don't we? And probably out here too. Is he going to make it though? That's kind of the real question. Also, this shakedown going forever is really annoying. So we'll just not worry about that right now. He's injured. So honestly, if he makes it, I don't want to say it's deserved and he's earned it, but yeah, fair play, honestly. I mean, he was injured. He managed to swim. What can I say? He did a good job. for what he was trying to do anyway. And with one last toilet to install, all I should need to do is set this space and all of these little spaces to staff only, and we should have some staff coming through, and there we go. We have some new staff bathrooms, which is absolutely fantastic news. I am hoping if we look at our staff needs, we are looking a little bit better. Obviously, everybody has this need. Some of them are a little bit concerned about it, but I think we've now more than doubled the number of staff bathrooms in this side of the prison. So hopefully this is going to help my staff just be a little bit happier. And we might want to do more staff bathrooms over here as well. We do have 4 of them, which is probably not enough. It's honestly probably not enough. But I will, just before we wrap things up for today, go ahead and get our hands on an armory, because I think that would be a fantastic idea. And if we go ahead and search for everything we need for this place, we are going to need, let's see, a weapons rack for 1, which, I don't know how many of these we need. So I'm going to do 2. We're also going to need a guard locker, which I'll put in the middle. I think we need more than just 1 of those. And we're going to need some tables. So I'll do a table in the middle of the room. We'll do a bunch of guard lockers sort of down the sides of the room, because that seems like a solid idea. And that seems like a decent setup for the armory. We'll go ahead and prioritize all of this. It is behind a large jail door, which should keep it relatively secure. It's also like the furthest away from all of the cells. I mean, there's a lot of staff space to go through to get there. Admittedly, only, well, 3 secure doors. And also, I guess if they were in the canteen, it would be 2. They'd have this one to break through a bunch of normal doors, and then this one. It's not as secure as it could be, but I think it'll be fine. If we look at bureaucracy, I do want to get tasers. I do want to get body armor. I would like to get the taser rollout at some point. But this is a start, I suppose. It is better. It is better than nothing, which is good. It is also technically up and running now, which I love. I would like to get more canine handlers. And I have seen a couple of comments mentioning that I can just get more dog handlers. You don't need a kennel for every single dog. You only need a kennel when they're resting. So we'll go for 2 more and see how that plays out. I think that is like a robot dog right there. I'm pretty sure that's something, I guess. We could potentially get rid of some of the dog bowls as well, because they don't all need to eat at the same time either. But I think having 2 more dogs might be good for us. It might help us out. And if and when we get tasers and body armor, I think that's going to help us out as well. I'm pretty sure it's expensive to give all my guards tasers, and I think I have to certify them in tasers as well. So staff programs, yeah, guard taser certification, led by a chief in a classroom. It is a 1-hour session. It's guards only. It's practical. There's 10 places. There's 1 session. So yeah, that's gonna be something. That's okay though. We can certify all my guards to use tasers, and that'll hopefully make things a little bit more secure around here. Also, I just want to point out staff morale is now 100%, which is wonderful news. That's such a turnaround. Wasn't really expecting staff morale to climb that quickly. I guess the extra bathrooms might have done a bit of heavy lifting. Yeah, they've definitely helped a bit. Recreation's doing okay. Comfort's doing okay. Hydration is something that they don't seem to be concerned about whatsoever. Warmth is something they don't seem concerned about. So I think we're doing all right. I mean, spirituality, non-existent. Clothing, problematic. So minimum security, let's see. So minimum security is a bit concerned about food and very concerned about clothing. Medium security is really not concerned about food. They're actually doing fine. I mean, luxuries are a problem, but my minimum security guys are really struggling with clothing. And I have noticed that the guys working in the laundry room are basically doing nothing. So I'm gonna try just dismantling a few of these ironing boards to see if maybe they're blocking them from being able to do things. I really have no idea what to do or how to get them to work. Oh, there we go. I mean, they're okay. They're going out now. They're collecting some laundry. That's something. That's better than not doing anything at all, which is what they've been doing so far. So that's good. We have a pile of dirty clothes right there. We're ironing it. Okay. I think the ironing boards might have been in the way. That might have solved that problem. I guess we'll have to keep an eye on it. As just in the same way we're going to have to keep an eye on my money because I'm really, really not doing well with it anymore. But all things considered, I think we're doing okay. I'm kind of happy with where we are with this minimum security prison. So in the next episode, I kind of want to get away from here and probably go take a look at the medium security prison. And I mean, don't get me wrong, that's not to say that the minimum security prison is finished and perfect. It still has a lot of work to go, but we're kind of getting to a point where we've almost filled the island. And I mean, there's other things we could do with it. We can put some cliff edges around it to make it harder for people to escape. We can do more little facilities, maybe a bigger cleaning cupboard or laundry or something like that would help us out as well. But I like how it's looking so far, and I feel like we could go back to looking at that medium security prison. Especially when we can kind of bridge this gap between these two islands and, you know, put a bunch more cells in here, put a chapel up here, and generally try and have more inmates in the medium security prison. I'd like to see more people coming in here. I'd like to make more money from these guys as well. So we can do like a forestry up here. We can do all sorts of things up here. But that is something I think for that next episode. And so that is going to do us for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. This has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.